Hello everyone, today I'm going to show you how to make this underwater painting in watercolors and gouache. For this I'm going to use Hahnemuller watercolor paper, 100% cotton, cold pressed, fine grain and glued on 4 sides. As usual, I tape down the paper to keep it flat, then draw the frame for this painting. I want it to be an organic shape that somehow reminds of a water drop. And to make the frame look more interesting, I'm adding some corals. Now it's time to paint inside of the shape. For that, I first use a clean wet brush to wet the surface, then apply my paint. This way we'll make sure that paint will spread evenly on the whole surface without leaving any hard edges. Now this process can be a bit intimidating when having details like these corals. So another thing you could do is using a medium called masking fluid, which is some sort of latex based medium. You apply it, let it dry, and then paint over, and those areas with masking fluid won't absorb any paint or water, and after the painting has dried you can remove it. However, for this painting I wanted to show you that it is possible to do it without the masking fluid. It just will take more time and you need to pay more attention to details. So while the paper is still wet, you can add some darker paint on the edges to create more depth. Now, to make this painting look more interesting, we could create some light rays by using a clean wet brush and lifting up some paint. So at this point, paper is still somewhat wet, and when I lift up the paint, the rest will sort of blend in and create a blurry effect. Now I'm using my hair dryer to dry this layer of paint, and in this case it's good to tilt it a bit. And after it has completely dried, we continue adding our next layer of paint. So here again I'm using a clean wet brush and lifting up some paint to create some interesting light effects. Then dry this layer again and continue to the next one. And a tip I have for you is to rotate your paper constantly while painting and make sure that your arms are resting and relaxed This way you will have a much better control over your brushwork. Now I want to paint some red corals, and for that I'm using red gouache, which is also known as opaque watercolor and is used in combination with watercolors for paintings like this. You could also use acrylics or acrylic markers if you don't have gouache. So the difference is that watercolor is transparent and you cannot paint dark on top of the dark. In this case, if we used red watercolors, it wouldn't be visible on the blue background. And so when it comes to brushes for gouache painting, I recommend using synthetic ones that can also be used for acrylic paintings. So gouache has thicker consistency, and for that I feel like using with a thicker brush is also easier. At the same time, it can be a bit harsh on the bristles, so I don't want to ruin my expensive watercolor brushes by over the time by working with gouache paint. Our painting is almost finished and it's time to add the final touch. I love working with metallic gold watercolors. This one is from Finetech. And I will spray it with some water, let it sit for 30 seconds or 1 minute, and then paint in some golden details. I feel like this always lifts up my paintings to another level. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please support me by giving it a thumbs up or subscribe to my channel to see more tutorials like this. Also, if you have any comments or questions, please share them with me in the comment section below. Have fun painting and thank you for watching.